Hello there. In this episode of Muhammad's Red Flags, I want to discuss something that most Muslims don't know about, and that is the case of black magic that happened to Muhammad. Black magic. Uh, Let me break it down for you. What is called black magic is also referred to as juju. Juju. In this part of the world, they call it juju, but in other parts of the world, it's called black magic, which is an enchantment. You put some evil, you use some evil power to affect somebody else. That is what is called black magic. You perform satanic influence on somebody through some strange magical powers that you have. That's black magic. And I want to put it on record. There is no prophet in history that was affected by black magic. Only Muhammad, who claims to be a prophet, only him was affected by black magic. And that is a big red flag. So let's jump into it. As usual, I'm going to be reading from Islamic sources. This is sunnah.com. And you see, I'm not doing anything special. Muslims say, you're not knowledgeable. I don't have to be knowledgeable. I don't have to be knowledgeable. You just show me that what I'm saying is not true. That's all. I don't have to be knowledgeable to say. What do you mean by you're not knowledgeable? Meaning that I've not gone to Madrasa or go to Morikas, what they call Morikas in this place. I've not sat down under a sheikh and then he pours his nonsense into my mind until I'm not able to reason again. Then suddenly I have become knowledgeable. When I begin to repeat the nonsense that the sheikh has told me, that's when I've become knowledgeable. That's what they mean. So you don't have to be knowledgeable. Just head to sunnah.com and some other websites and search these things for yourself. Or you go to quran.com. Go to quran.com. So in this case, since it is hadith that we want to read, we'll go to sunnah.com. Just search for black magic. Have you seen it here? Search for black magic. And what will come out will surprise you. Let me show you the search. Have you seen this? Black magic. This. So search for black magic and what will come out will shock you. So let's read some of the results that we've been presented with on sunnah.com. Black magic. So first of all, here is it. I heard Allah's apostle saying, whoever takes 7 ajwa dates in the morning will not be affected by magic or poison on that day. You've seen it. Whoever takes 7 ajwa dates. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 5779. Here. You've seen it here. Sahih al-Bukhari 5779. Whoever. This is Muhammad talking. Narrated Sa'ad. I heard Allah's apostle saying, and look at it. It's Sahih. Once it is Sahih al-Bukhari, there's no Hassan and there is no Da'if in it. Everything is Sahih. So Muslims will like to deny it. Why is this important? You're going to see later. Let's read more. The next one. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 5769. You've seen it. Sahih al-Bukhari 5769 here. 5769. And it says, I heard Allah's apostle saying, if somebody takes 7 ajwa dates in the morning, neither magic nor poison will hurt him that day. First of all, we've talked about the case of poison. So it was poison that killed Muhammad. Therefore, imagine somebody saying that neither magic nor poison will hurt him that day, and both actually hurt him. So we can conclude that, number one, on the day poison came on him, he forgot to eat ajwa dates. Jibril did not remind him on that day. And the same thing, on the day the black magic came on him, he forgot to eat the Ajwa dates. That is one conclusion. The second conclusion is to say maybe what he said was not true. Do you understand that? If what he said was true, he forgot to eat 7 Ajwa dates the day that magic affected him, and not on the same day. It was magic that came first. It was poison that came last. So in each case, he forgot to eat Ajwa dates. So if he forgot to eat Ajwa dates on the day magic affected him, and he eventually recovered, why did he not choose to keep eating Ajwa dates afterwards every day? Why did he not? Do you understand my question? He was first affected by magic, which is what we're discussing in this video. And then he recovered about 6 months later or about 12 months later, depending on which document you are looking at. So between 6 to 12 months, he was affected by black magic, to the point that he'll be doing some nonsensical things. He'll be misbehaving. He will lose his mind. Sometimes he will say, I have eaten when nobody had given him food. Sometimes he will say, oh, I've just slept with my women. And the women will say, what are you talking about? For him to say, for example, oh, I've just slept with Aisha. And Aisha will say, I never saw you. What are you talking about? And so he continued to behave like that for between 6 to 12 months. And eventually he recovered from that, according to the writings of Muslims. Okay, so when he recovered from that, shouldn't he remember that he had said, if somebody eats 7 Ajwa dates in a day, neither magic nor poison will hurt him, and from that day he should start eating it regularly. He should pray to Allah to remind him to eat it regularly. Let's read more. Sahih al-Bukhari 5445. Sahih al-Bukhari 5445. Narrated Saad. He who eats 7 Ajwa dates every morning will not be affected by poison or magic on that day he eats them. I'm not making it up. It's there on your screen. Let's read more. The Prophet said, if somebody takes some Ajwa date, this one says some, we've been reading 7, but well, some, that says 7. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 5768. Sahih al-Bukhari 5768. Okay, so if somebody takes some Ajwa dates every morning, he will not be affected by poison or magic on that day till night. Another narrator said 7. I don't want to talk about this difference in opinion. Let's not talk about that. Otherwise, I'm going to digress. Sahih Muslim 2047b. He who ate 7 Ajwa dates in the morning, poison and magic will not harm him on that day. This is still Muhammad talking. Amir bin Saad bin Abu Waqas reported Allah's messenger as saying, you've seen it, as saying, he who ate 7 Ajwa dates in the morning, poison and magic will not affect him on that day. Let's read more. Sunan Abu Dawud 3876. Saad Abdul Waqas reported the Prophet as saying, he who has a morning meal of 7 Ajwa dates will not suffer from any harm that day through poison or magic. So we can go on and on like that. You get the point. This is a mutawatir hadith. Mutawatir means multiply reported. So you cannot say it is not true. You cannot say this and this and that. And this is Sahih, by the way, by Al-Albani. This is Sunan Abi Dawud 3876. Let's read more. Mishkat al-Masabi 4190. I don't like reading this hadith because it's not part of the 6 most authentic hadith, so I'm going to skip it. This is Sunan Nasai 4079. This is part of the six most. Okay, this says daif. Why is it daif? Why is it daif? Okay, this is not about eating dates. So let's go to another one that talks about eating dates. So we read a lot of eating of dates. Now it's time to talk about how magic affected Muhammad himself. So we've seen Muhammad saying repeatedly, whoever eats some dates in the morning, throughout that day, neither magic nor poison will affect him. And others say, whoever eats 7 ajwa dates, that day he is free from poison and magic. How come that Muhammad eventually was affected by magic? Let's read stories of magic now. Narrated Aisha. This is a very long story. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, 6391. You've seen it on the screen. Sahih al-Bukhari, 6391. It's a long story, but I'm going to read as fast as possible, and I would have even loved to cut some things. But narrated Aisha, that Allah's apostle was affected by magic so much that he used to think that he had done something which in fact he did not do, and he invoked his Lord, blah 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 blah. It's a long story. And then he eventually, who did it? It was some Jewish guy. It was some Jewish guy. Okay, so let's look for more about the episode of magic that happened to Muhammad. Okay, so this is another one. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, 5765. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5765. You've seen it. Let's read it. Narrated Aisha. Narrated Aisha. Magic was worked on Allah's apostle so that he used to think that he had sexual relations with his wives while he actually had not. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? It was so terrible that he would be thinking that he had slept with his wives. Not one, wives. And he had not. That is the hardest kind of magic, as it has such an effect. Wow. Have you seen that? So in some cases, magic would make you to think that you have eaten, or you have done some other things, or you have visited your friends, or you have met with the president of America when you have not. But this hadith tells us that the hardest kind of magic was the magic that makes you to think that you have slept with your wives when you have not. How come that happened to Muhammad? How come? So now get me very clear. I can go on and on to look for some other hadiths that talk about magic and how it affected Muhammad. But we've read 2. So let's just stop there and let me quickly wrap up this video and then point out the red flag in that case. So we've seen that, number 1, Muhammad said, he prophesied that if you eat 7 ajwa dates in the morning, that day you will not be affected by black magic. So how come that he was affected by black magic? That is the first thing. So it's either he was not telling the truth, or he was telling the truth, but he forgot. So Jibril did not remind him. So the truth that he was telling, was it from Allah, or was it from his own head? Was it from tradition, or was it a revelation to him? Muslims will tell us that everything that Muhammad said was revealed from Allah. So this eating of 7 dates and being protected from magic and poison throughout that day, although it may have come from Allah, from Allah to Jibril, from Jibril to Muhammad, but then that still was his fate. How come? That is that. But the more serious thing is this. In the whole of history, there was nobody, there was no prophet that was affected by black magic. None whatsoever. Let me tell you what Jesus told his disciples. He said, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by enemies hurt you. Nothing. Muslims, go and tell your sheikhs, your mullah, your mukadam, whatever you want to call them. And I know they're very good in enchanting people. They're very, very good. In fact, they do it to themselves. Here am I. If any of you dare, I'm not even a prophet. I'm just a follower of Jesus Christ. If any of you dare, just try. Do your whatever enchantment, your black magic against me, and see what will be the repercussion. If you survive it, you are lucky. I'm telling you, if you survive it, you are lucky. The terrible thing that is going to happen to you. So if me, I'm so confident in my God, in my Savior to that level, how come that the greatest of all prophets was affected by magic? How come? That is the red flag. There is no other prophet in history that was affected by magic. None whatsoever. And if you know any, Muslims, come and tell us. So how come that the beloved of Allah could not be protected from magic? You know that magic is the work of the devil, right? Even your hadiths tell you that magic is the work of the devil. So how come that the work of the devil could affect Muhammad, but could not affect any other prophet in history? Not a single prophet apart from Muhammad. That is a red flag, in case you are still not getting it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Muhammad cannot be a prophet. He cannot be a prophet because the work of the devil affected him. Black magic, juju affected him. And we that are children of God, we're actually protected from such things. And if anybody tries it, well, you understand what they mean by back to sender. Back to sender. Back to sender. Back to sender. If you try it, you are in trouble. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Catch you in the next episode. Thank you. God bless you. And stay away from Islam.